Well, hello everyone from the beach, and the waves are strong today. Indeed, the force in the sea is strong. Just came out after having had a dance with the waves. Beautiful. So here we are to look at reversing cognitive decline, maintaining and increasing your health, increasing intelligence, and generally improving your quality of life. So this is part 2. So my subtitle for all this is really Neurogenesis, which is just a wonderful word, because like many, I was taught that your brain reached its optimal peak around about age 20 and it was slowly declined from there onwards, and certain things was causing definite damage to brain cells. It's all irreversible and it's all untrue, not a word of truth in any of it. It's just the old paradigm which was based on ignorance, and the truth is, of course, that you can actually improve your cognitive abilities. You can become smarter, increase your intelligence, become wiser, become more of a full human being. So that's what we're looking at. So here comes my number 1. Drink the best quality water you can get your hands on, preferably spring water, preferably harvested yourself if you can so do. And what that will do is they'll activate your DNA, and it will prevent you from getting a whole host of horrible illnesses and diseases, because it comes down to simply this: dehydration is one of the things that tips people out of health into disease. So by drinking plenty of good quality water every day, that's made a massive difference to your entire prognosis. And then the next thing, which has nothing to do with food or drink at all, and that is to find things that interest you. Find what interests you and find out more about it. Engage in creative, practical activities, things that you enjoy doing. Try things out that you don't normally do. Be willing to have a go at something new. Be open to the new. That's incredibly important, and you'll reap so many wonderful rewards from that. And then the next thing is to reach out and communicate with people. That's so important, so helpful. And another thing is to make use of more traditional means of gaining information. For example, books. When you sit down and read a book, you give your active imagination a chance to take wing as you literally decode letters and punctuation on a piece of white paper into something you can picture in your mind, a whole scene going on. It's incredibly powerful and helpful. Right, so those are really important. And then let's get down to the food stuff, which is of course my overall overweening obsession. So letting go of the refined sugar, letting go of the junk food, letting go of anything that comes out of a takeaway, which is cooked in olive oil full of free radicals, which is very harmful, and it'll be the cheapest quality oil. It could be genetically modified, as in a cafe not a million miles away from where I'm sitting, or it could not be that. It could be vegetable oil, which is very, very poor quality. So ditching all that, not doing that anymore, and realizing one of the most creative acts you can engage in is actually to prepare your own food, whether it's a raw salad or a full-on 3-course meal. It's really good for your creativity. So then when it comes to actually what we eat, so here we go. Here are my top favourites, and right at the top of the list are those wonderful berries called the blueberry, and I would also include the wild berries like the blackberry and a whole bunch of other wonderful fresh fruits, including the pomegranate. What these bright coloured fruits have got in common is that they actually help to produce the right conditions in the brain for the formation and laying down of new brain cells. It is that wonderful. So these are really helpful medicinal foods to have. And it doesn't matter whether you have them in a smoothie or in a fruit salad or with your muesli or your porridge or whatever way you want to have them, just on their own, whatever. This is a really powerful thing you can do to induce neurogenesis in your body. Wonderful. And the next thing I'm going to add is mushrooms and other fungi. These are also very powerful neurogenetic agents, and perhaps surprisingly, eggs are also very helpful too, which gives me the classic combination called the mushroom omelette. The mushroom omelettes, or the mushrooms and scrambled egg, that's a very powerful way to bring about the conditions which is going to increase neurogenesis in your system. Very helpful indeed. And something else you can have is my nutrient broth. That's also really useful by providing all the minerals and giving your body all the essentials it needs to be able to metabolize effectively. This is going to also result in neurogenesis. And then one of my absolute all-time favorites, which is the spice called turmeric, also known to the Americans as curcumin, bright yellow spice. You can get it fresh if you're lucky. If you can't, you can get it dried as a yellow powder. Now, what is so magical about this is it's nature's natural anti-inflammatory, and it just so turns out all these cognitive decline diseases are all examples of inflammation in the body, which is really what we want to counteract. So nature's number one anti-inflammatory, turmeric, also called curcumin, and you can get this in capsule form. Best thing of all is to cook your food with coconut oil, add some turmeric and a bit of black pepper. By adding that in your cooking, it means that it's going to be naturally very, very bioavailable, and the black pepper makes it 2,000 times more potent, and the coconut oil acts as a bridge and helps you get it into your system very quickly and easily. This is wonderful medicine. Anti-cancer. My mother actually had a cancerous growth on her ear, and I made an ointment containing CBD oil, cannabis oil, and a generous amount of turmeric, and within a few weeks the cancerous growth is gone. And look at her ear, there's not a sign there's anything wrong there at all. So this is such a powerful medicine. And I want to throw something in here, which is that if you study Asian people who live in the UK and you contrast them with Asian people who live in India, for example, it turns out that dementia is a rare illness. Dementia and Alzheimer's, they're rare in that part of the world, in the Indian subcontinent, and that's because they still eat their traditional diet. There's no McDonald's going on out there. It's traditional diet, which is rich in spices. And I would also say, as well as the turmeric, I reckon to eat a good variety of Indian spices is going to be even more effective for neurogenesis, for anti-inflammatory, and keeping yourself healthy. Really helpful thing to do there. And as always, I do invite you to have a look at the description, because what I do when I make a film like this, everything that comes in the top of my head, that's what I share and reveal, and then later other things come up for me to be reminded to share with you, and I pop them onto the description, so that will give you the full information. So really helpful. So let's just get back to the Asian subcontinent. The people who live out there who don't eat the Western diet, they don't tend to get problems with cognitive decline, because they are naturally taking in such a good balance of foods, which means that they are not laying the groundwork that we've been doing in the West. So your classic modern Western junk food diet is the primary cause of these horrific illnesses, together with social isolation and lack of interest in life and being creative. Those are the primary conditions. So we're simply doing the opposite to reverse it. So all the natural foods that you can eat, I mean, that's the other obvious golden rule: plenty of natural foods, bound to be really helpful. So go for plenty of that. That's really going to do you the world of good, and it's just going to get better and better. So that's what my advice for you in terms of your situation, and to realize it takes decades to create these health problems. So for simple example, if I go out to a cafe and I eat a scone and it's got jam and cream and it's got sugar in it, that is not going to cause me to have all these problems. One off, that's not going to make any difference at all. What makes a difference is when you keep on eating these foods over and over again for a really prolonged period of time. that's where the problems come in. So it's to do with what we call chronic, isn't it? When you do something repetitive that's really harmful, that's when you get the problems. So much love to you on your journeys. And neurogenesis, it's an interesting word. You might want to investigate a little bit online. Just put that in and see what other wonderful ideas you come up with for making yourself to be the kind of person that you want to be, and even more so, even brighter and smarter as time goes on. Thank you very much.